All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Maya? Okay.
I'm here.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Look at you. You made it to another episode of We Did That Shit podcast, where we talk about who did some shit, what we learned from shit, and how we got through some shit.
I'm Maya.
And I'm the D. Podcast family, we appreciate you. And we hope your week was the shit. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you like our company, please listen on your favorite podcast platform. We're on Anchor, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and Spotify. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at We Did That Shit.
Hey, girl.
What's up?
What's going on?
It is springtime.
It is spring.
I am so happy. I don't care that the weather's been raining and hailing. I don't care. It's spring and it does something to me on the inside.
Oh.
It just,
Oh. It does all that, huh?
It does something to me on the inside. I got stuff done. It's great.
I never had spring make me feel like that, but maybe I need to rethink this spring thing.
I love spring. Winter is just a dead season. Yeah. It's just a season of death. And spring it is. And spring is new life. And I love it. I look forward to March 20th every year. Every year.
Okay. I didn't like that winter. It's just death.
It's a dead season.
Okay.
Yeah. Winter is a dead season.
Well, how was your week? I mean, what's going on? How was your week?
Let me tell you what happened. You ain't gonna believe this.
Okay.
So, you know how you can have a Facebook friend or whatever, and it's like, oh, yeah, you know, Sheila from the 5th grade. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Sheila, whatever. You know, all you doing showing pictures of the kids. You know, it ain't that serious, right? So this girl, and literally, because, you know, we moved a lot when we was young. Mm-hmm. So I was, like, going to a different school every year up to the 7th grade. So I think I was in the 5th grade. Or maybe I was in the 4th grade because Tisha was in the 5th grade. So it was this girl, you know, in our little neighborhood or whatever. You know, all right, she's my Facebook friend. Why does she keep putting on my timeline like, hey, girl, love you. Hey, girl, love you. Call me. I'm like...
Who are you?
I know who she is, but I'm like, what in the world is going on? Mm-hmm. So, and you know, I'm on the phone all the time at work, whatever. And if I'm talking, unless I'm talking to you or my bestie, I ain't on the phone. I ain't no phone talker. So, then she sent me, and I was just ignoring them because, you know, in order to put things on my timeline, like, it'll ask me, this person tags you in this. Would you like to put it on your timeline, whatever? So I never added it to my timeline. So she sent me a message in this whole message thing. Mm-hmm. What is this called? The Facebook Messenger thing? The message reads, baby, I need some help with getting to my court date. I don't have nowhere else to turn. I hope you can help. I use Cash App. And then put her number. I can pay you back on the 3rd of April. I live in the country and court is in the city, an hour away. So, you know me. I'm like, first of all, and you know I'm always gullible and everything, but so I was just like, what
is going on?
Exactly. So
who is baby? First of all,
exactly.
I know you in the 5th grade up the street, like, and then I moved. Exactly. So let's start there. Right. Let's dissect this thing. So who's baby?
Right. So I called my sister.
Okay.
I was like, T, I got this message from, you know,
Sheila.
Mm-hmm. And she just started busting out laughing. And I was like, what? She was like, she a crackhead. Like, she need money.
Oh.
I felt so, right. That's how I felt like, oh, wow. It's so unfortunate. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. But she was like, block her. And I mean, listen, you know how she is. She don't care, right? But I just kept looking at the text like, oh my gosh, I can't, you know. So I texted.
You texted the message back?
Yeah, I said.
Even after you knew she was the crackhead?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, because you know, T was like, block her. Like, don't be sending her no money, you know, block her, whatever. Like, I wasn't sending her no money anyway, but T was just like, block her.
Right.
So I said, I will keep you in prayer. You can write the court and request a postponement for hardship and medical reasons.
And what did she respond back? I don't know what she said back after that. I mean, I did what I was told and I blocked her.
I muted the conversation and I blocked her on Facebook.
First of all, if you need money so that you could buy drugs, where are you getting Facebook from? Because you got to have a data plan.
Well, I don't know.
And Obama phones don't give you data plan.
First of all, she could really actually be. First of all, you was just in the hospital on Facebook. Like, praise the Lord, my search. She had a GoFundMe page for her surgery and stuff like that. Like, you was just in the hospital. So she wasn't, or maybe wasn't, or I don't know.
She just is collecting funds from you gullible people out there.
Yeah.
Did she hit you with the baby?
For the GoFundMe thing?
No, for the message. Like, she hit you with the, baby, I gotta go to court. And here's the thing. This how you know that she been doing this for a little minute, because she got her stories down pat. She didn't thought of everything. She asked you for the money. She said, I got cash at. She done told you she lived in the country, that she don't live, she gotta go to court in the city.
So
it's an hour away.
All the way in the country.
It don't matter. She thought of all the details. So she's smart, if nothing else. You know what I'm saying? She like, yeah, let me get my stuff.
Well, if she's not a crackhead, like Judge Mathis says, you got crackish ways.
Exactly. At this point, I don't know what you are. You know, I can't even believe that people. I ain't even gonna say I can't believe, because people got the audacity to do all kinds of stuff. But you gonna hit me with the, I only know you up the block in the 5th grade, and now I'm the one you asking for money?
She has nowhere else to turn, she said.
Oh, well, girl, if I'm the only person you got to turn to, your life is in shambles, because I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, if you don't have nobody else to turn to but a Facebook friend.
And I do know her, well, her mom passed, but, and I do know her dad, and I see her dad around and everything.
How you know him?
Her dad's a preacher.
You know him enough to go up to him like, hey, Mr. Richard?
Yeah.
Well, you should have called Mr. Richard and said, you heard this on Facebook.
I mean, he knows. And he probably, when she said she don't have nowhere to turn, she probably didn't,
turned him inside out.
Exactly. Her brother, sister, her dad, she probably used them up. Because you know how everybody just...
And so now what? You going down your Facebook? Now you going down your Facebook list?
And
all right, let me see.
My Facebook name starts with an A, so I was close to the
right.
top.
She was like, all right, let me see. Ooh, I'm going to send this out. Now, here's the real question. Do you know somebody else that knows her, like, on Facebook? Or do you have mutual friends?
I can't check now, but I'm sure we do.
Because at this point, I will call the mutual friend or send a mutual friend a message like, yo, did you get this?
But that's why I called T. That's why I called
T. Did T get the message?
No, because she said she unfriended her on Facebook a long time ago because she a crackhead.
I need to know who this person is offline. Offline, I feel like not Priscilla. Okay.
You don't know her.
I don't know her. She from Camden? Oh, all right. It makes all the sense in the world now. It makes all the sense in the world now. Okay. All right. Well, good thing for you that you didn't give her the money.
Right. I'm not into the money thing.
It's not that you're into the money thing, but you're nice.
Anymore.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You're a nice person, and it's like one of them kind of people that suck you up. It's like, you know, my mom had an aide, you know, for 2 days. And in the 2 days, she done told my mom her whole life story. I'm getting beat up at home. My kids don't got a ride. I'm hungry. You know, and of course, my mom being the kind of person she is, she like, oh man, I need to make a care package for this girl, buy some Band-Aids. You know, she want to help her. So no, and that's the kind of person you are. Want to help, like jump to the boogie to help people. And so good thing, you know, you ain't jump to the you know, good thing you ain't help her. So you had an interesting week.
I did. I was like, they really tried me, but it's springtime. I'm on it.
My week was pretty good. I mean, I know you usually say, how was your week? But I'm just offering it up.
Okay.
My week was pretty good.
It was. Show enough.
Stop putting my business on the street.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, my week was pretty good. You know, I had this 10-year plan that you speak of. I guess it's moving a little, you know, maybe 10 minutes or 10 months as opposed to 10 years. But no, my week was pretty good. I had a guest over to my house. You know, I did a little entertaining, had a really good time with that, laugh, joke, you know. That whole thing, you know, hand on the chest, one hand on the chest, one hand on the shoulder, laugh. You're so funny. So that was a good time, and then I came to New Jersey. That's how my week was, you know, spending the weekend with the family. We gonna do family stuff, hang out, laugh, joke, eat, see Tyler Perry. New play.
Oh yeah, we are going.
Yeah, all that damn money for that play, and I better laugh the whole damn time too.
Well, you will, because you always be laughing at everything, but
it'll be just my luck. That's the one that I don't laugh at. So no, other than that, my week was pretty good. I can't complain.
Oh, that's good. And Jiggy's going. I keep saying every day, Jig, don't forget the play is Sunday. Okay.
And they love their damn Tyler Perry.
He does.
This is going to be my first time ever seeing Tyler Perry's play. I never seen it on DVD. I never seen it in person. Ever, nothing.
No?
I've always seen his movies, but I've never seen his plays. And my friend was telling me like, "Oh, you gonna love it because you know that's how he started out." And she was saying how good the plays was.
Right, because they ad lib and all kinds of stuff happens.
And I'm looking forward to that good singing. You know, because I feel like all those kind of plays, they have an impromptu song that just busts out. You be like, I'm not going to take it anymore. And then the next thing you know, they belting from the gut. So I'm looking forward to that. And Tamala Mann is in it, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
And Brown.
What?
I hope so. Yeah, that's because usually they're together. But Tamala Mann and Ella is always in it too. I hope she's Ella and
is Ella the girl that plays on? And you know she was on School Days.
What?
Cassie Davis is the short little chubby brown skin lady, right?
And you know she's married to that's her husband in real life.
Who?
On Meet the Pains?
No, I don't watch that. But Cassie Davis.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I don't watch that. Cassie Davis was on School Days. Did you ever see School Days?
Yes.
Okay. You remember the scene when Lawrence Fishburne goes to the window and he be hollering out, Rachel, and then the girl comes out and she be like, here you are again, and she was like, your face is cracked and on the ground. That's Cassie Davis.
Oh, wow.
She always had like an old face because she looked old. I don't mean it like that, but I'm saying she always had like a mature look because she looked kind of mature on that, and that was in School Days came out, 1986? Something crazy?
I was still in school,
Yeah, so yes, the fun fact, that's her. So when you watch it, you'll notice it. No, because I don't watch Tyler Perry's shows. I mean, except for like the have and the have-nots, but I don't watch Meet the Browns, Meet the Pains.
Oh, and Daddy's Little Girl?
Yeah.
You saw Daddy's Little Girl? The guy who sang in the bar? He was singing.
Oh, that's her husband?
Yeah. And he's her husband they're married in real life. And he refuses to do any kind of derogatory black man role. And he always, they's like, and he's funny, and they say he'll never be like an A-list actor. He said he don't care because he's never going to take any kind of role as a thug or a deadbeat or anything like that.
Well, good for him. Stand for something.
Yes.
Or fall for anything. So, who did some shit this week?
Oh my gosh. It's just like who did some shit is just all the rage. So the first thing I want to talk about is this Head Start teacher. Now, Head Start is a federally funded program. So all states have Head Start. It is preschool and kindergarten. So the children are between the ages of 3 and 5 years old that uses these services. They do use real teachers, with degrees and certifications, the such and the like. So this was in Kansas, Illinois. And the teacher, 26-year-old teacher who has been working for Head Start for 3 years, is on paid administrative leave. Calm me down. Let me take a breath. She is on paid administrative leave after they saw her making children strip naked and stand in the closet as punishment.
She's a
fucking tree jumper. Sorry,
she is a pedophile. It's no way.
And she's on pay. She's not even locked up.
Yeah, because there's no way that you would make children children
Strip.
strip naked and stand in a closet. And first of all, what is that accomplishing? Because if they're bad in whatever kind of way, let's say that they're biting or they're hitting or they're whatever the case is, they talking back, stripping them naked is going to do nothing to solve any of those problems. And the fact that you want to see kids naked because you're taking off your clothes, they got to take off their clothes in front of the classroom, so they're embarrassed. Then they got to go and stand in a closet, and then you go into that closet and look in on them and ask them, did they learn their lesson and all that kind of stuff. That means that you want a child to be naked in front of you.
You should be in jail. Just like if somebody, sees your phone and you had child pornography in your phone or whatever. So, and she's on paid administrative leave. It boils my blood, I tell you. And another teacher also in the program, she's 41 years old. She's been with the Head Start program longer. She's also on paid administrative leave. She didn't actually make the children stand naked in the closet as punishment, but she knew it was happening and she never reported it to anyone.
Well, then she's just as guilty. It's just like how I say, if you are a cop who knows that cops are doing bad things and you don't say anything about it, then you're just as bad as the cop that is doing the wrong things. So if you are a teacher and you know that children are being abused,
because
and
that's
you
what
don't
it is.
and you know children are being abused and you don't say anything about it, then you are an abuser as well. And both of them should be fired. Both of them should be put in jail. And their parents should kick both their asses.
Now you're talking my language, because we were talking about this in a lunchroom at work, and I would say, this was my thing, and I don't care what, and I know a lot of times people, they be careful what you say, terroristic threats and all this other kind of stuff or whatever.
Well, that's a
but
threat
I just
that you can
listen. Let me tell you something.
Carry out.
And this is not a terroristic threat or anything. And praise God, one, my children never went to daycare, and two, my children are adults now. But if was my child. If that was my child, I don't care if you was watching Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, cable, regular TV, on your phone. I'm telling you, they would be interrupting your regularly scheduled program to bring you this fast breaking news story, because I would be going all the way off. Yeah. And everybody was going to get it.
Yeah, when it comes down to matters of your children, I think that you have,
and molestation, because she's a pedophile. I
think that you have the rights, and we don't know if she is touching these children.
It doesn't matter.
But what I'm saying is that it's bad enough that you're making them strip and then you're putting them in a closet. So again, you are a pedophile. But however, we don't know even if she's doing something to these kids other than that. Like if she's going into these places and touching these into this closet and touching these children, and the devastation that caused, and a kid when they think back on that at a time where they had to strip down to the bare bone and then go into a closet as punishment, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I think, and like I was saying before I cut myself off, when it comes down to things concerning your children, you should have carte blanche to do whatever it is that you want to do, and you think about the consequences later. And that's reality.
Right, because I would be going bananas. They be like, oh, that lady crazy. And I sure
Well, you will be. A job as a parent is to protect your children at all costs. When you decide to sign up to be a parent, that's what you sign up for, to protect your children. And if that comes down to whatever it comes down to, that's what you have to do what it is that a parent does, and that's protect their children.
I just want to know, well, first of all, she's a pedophile. She has to be, because, when you try to think about it, it's like, what is wrong with you, lady? With all this stuff that's going on, where do you live? Under a rock? That's how you know she got to be a pedophile, because pedophiles can't help themselves. You know what I mean? Because
and you've been doing this for 3 years?
Thank you.
And how did they find out? Before we move on, how did they find out?
Somebody saw and reported it.
They didn't see prior to, or they just
the other lady who saw prior to, they gained knowledge that she knew that this was happening, and she never reported it.
Right,
so
but no other child. No other teacher saw it. No other teacher was around, or they didn't go into that classroom.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, I'm mad that I ain't heard a news story about somebody's mother or father going up there. Like, what are you doing with your kids?
Right.
That this is all like nobody hears what you doing.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
And stuff like this is not normal
at all. She's a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who did some shit.
Okay. What else you got?
Well, the CDC hosted the HIV prevention conference this week in Atlanta, the CDC, Centers for Disease Control, and they announced, and I just have to bring this up because people think HIV is over.
It's not.
And it is not. And they announced at the CDC prevention conference this week in Atlanta that, how did they put it exactly? They said HIV rates are not declining. Since not. Mm-hmm. In 2013, the HIV rate kind of plateaued. Okay. So, but we are still at that same approximate 40,000 new infections a year. New infections a year. And for every person that we know is HIV positive, there are at least 3 people that do not know their status. I'm just saying, people, everybody's out here living their best life, do it to the max. You only live once, spring is in the air, fun, till my daddy takes a T-bird away and all that kind of stuff. And you can do all of those things. But please, please, please protect yourself.
Yes.
Be aware.
Yes.
We have an HIV 101 episode, and I have Babi's tips for safer sex. Go back and listen. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's still very relevant.
It is, and it's amazing to me that people think in 2019 that it's not. I think that once new medicines came around, people started living longer, and truly being able to live great lives with the disease, that people just swept it under the rug. And it when we think back to when the virus first came about, like in the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. It was such a stigma, and I think that stigma never really went away. And to me, they haven't put the resources behind HIV and AIDS prevention in the way that they should. It's not like cancer, the Susan G. Komen Foundation and this and research and blah, blah, blah. It's not like that, and it should be. It should be looked at as the same, not the same kind of disease, but the same relevancy as cancer. Because it might not be taking people out in the same way. People are living longer and better lives, but it's still a disease, a deadly disease, and it's
and
still
people are dying. They're dying because they don't know that they're infected.
Right.
And the message was urgent because people were dying. Mm-hmm. The message.
Oh, recently.
No, in the past.
Mean in general? Mm-hmm.
In the past, the message was urgent because people were dying. It seems to have faded out because look who is infected most.
Yeah. So it wasn't
young, gay,
then,
black men.
Right. It wasn't
young, gay, Hispanic men.
Yeah.
African American women between the ages of 24 and 45. Those are the populations who are infected most now. So, still MSM, men who have sex with men. And then we have the opioid crisis. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, people
don't value
and stuff like that.
all people on the same level.
Right.
And at the peak of the epidemic, we had, and I tell people all the time, have you thanked your gay white man today? Because gay white men came from good families. They were educated. The families advocated. They marched on Washington. They raised money. Their dad was a scientist. Their cousin was a neurophysicist. Mm-hmm. So they were getting things done. So there is still work
to be done. Yeah.
We are still, there's still research looking for a vaccine because I think that's the only way that we're going to eradicate the virus is to vaccinate. That's usually what happens with viruses.
Well, I wish they hurry up.
But it doesn't seem that the message is, I mean, I'm working every day telling who I know.
Right.
But it doesn't seem that the message is as urgent as it used to be. So I just want you to be aware, podcast family, that the incidences of HIV infection has not declined. There's still 40,000 new documented infections annually. That's a lot.
It's a whole lot, especially if you say out of those people, it's still 3 people to those
Right,
one person that don't know that they're infected. I mean,
right. Don't listen to this podcast if you get ready for a date. I'm just saying.
This is why I'm single. And then you talk about get a boyfriend. I don't know. 25 to 44. I'm not the 44 yet. You know what I mean? I'm out the range. I mean, I use protection, but
I mean, my rules for safe and sex. Know who the person is. Talk about sex.
Yep.
You do a lot of things before you get into it. So that's that.
What else we got? Oh Lord, I wanted to.
Speaking of oh Lord,
yeah, that just put like a little. I don't know. Let me see if I can continue because now my thought process is 1 and 3, 3 and 1. It's a lot, but anyway, I wanted to talk about Daniel Caesar. Do you know who Daniel Caesar is?
No.
Okay.
I can't even make it up. I'm thinking, but no. I don't.
Daniel Caesar is a R&B singer.
Oh, what did he sing?
The most popular song that he has is Best Part with Her. You know the new singer Her?
Her who?
Her. That's her name. H-E-R.
Her name is Her?
Her name is Her.
Like who's on first?
Yeah, but it's H.E.R, meaning like...
H-E-R. So her name is H-E-R, not Her.
Okay.
But what does she sing?
She sings that too. She sings the duet with him, Best Part.
That's her most popular song?
I mean, her most popular song is probably that. Yeah, probably a song called Focus. You don't know.
Would you focus on me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh!
That's her.
Okay.
That's her. Well, Daniel Caesar and Her, they have a song called Best Part, and that's, really like everywhere.
Sing it.
So, no.
Giving you the best of me.
No.
Okay.
That's Anthony Hamilton.
Okay. Oh, that's my boy. I like him.
Maybe I'll put a little snippet of it so you can listen to it.
Okay.
But in any event, Daniel Caesar, who's an R&B singer, he's about like 20-something years old. Mm-hmm. He was on live because, that's the big thing now. Social media, you go on live. Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Twitter Live, mm-hmm. Snapchat Live, and in color. And in his live, he talked about this white girl who has the black men acting like buffoons, called Yes Jules, but I'm not going to go all into her because she doesn't matter, white girl with a big butt, and they act like, a white girl with a big butt who they think is down, so she's all the rage. Exactly, it doesn't matter. But Daniel Caesar, I wanted to talk about him because he said on his live, why are black people treating white people so bad? What do we get out of treating white people so bad? Right. So once the video came out, Black Twitter, of course, dragged him.
Wait.
From heaven to hell.
No, I'm not understanding what you're saying.
No, you understood exactly what I said. He asked the question, why are we treating Yes Jules so bad? But like I said, I'm not going to go into her. And then his next question was, why do black people treat white people so bad? What do we get out of treating white people so bad? And I was just thinking to myself, I know this little boy is young.
I was about to say, he's clearly young and dumb. And that's what's wrong with these little young kids. They have no respect for history. They have no knowledge of the history. And they think that their social media and entertainment fame is going to exclude them from being racially profiled or mistreated or anything like that. Now, I'm not saying that all black people are bad, and who the hell are you to say why do black people treat white people bad? Shit, we can't barbecue, we can't sell water, we can't take our dog to the dog park, we
can't ride the train, we can't ride the bus, we can't breathe, we can't sneeze, we can't do anything. Every single day, several times a day, on the social media that y'all love so much, there are videos showing you what white people are doing to black people on a consistent basis, from the president of the United States to police officers, firefighters, people at the store, blackface, these brands, everything. They're showing you how white people view and treat black people. And for you to say something like that is asinine. I'm thinking to myself, like, a whole race of people captured a whole another race of people. Inherently, we have never been violent toward white people, but white people have always been violent toward us. And when people, whomever they are, whether that be Daniel Caesar or Joe Blow up the street, once you get that in your noggin, and you get that knowledge, then you'll understand that what you say has effect, and what you said is asinine. And to ask a question like that when there are still people constantly being badgered, raped, beaten, killed, by in the hands of white people, because I don't know the last time I seen a video on social media of a black cop shooting down a white child, and then they laying there for 4 hours. And I don't remember the last time I seen that, but I do remember the last time that I seen a white cop shoot down a black child in a neighborhood and them laying there for 4 hours. I do remember that. I remember the day when I was looking on social media and I seen a white security guard in a school attacking a Hispanic child and a black child. I do remember that. I seen that earlier. That was about 12. It's about 8 now. I just think that, I don't know what these kids are thinking in their mind. Like, you got these white friends and you love them and it's all well and good, and if your experiences aren't your experiences, that's fine, but don't negate somebody else's experiences with something like that, because he was around a group of white kids when he was saying
Not just that. Sometimes they just have to learn the hard way.
Well, he's going to be one of the ones that has to learn the hard way. And see, but he'll be one of the ones who something happens to him. Let's say he get racially profiled or something like that. And he'll be like, oh, it's just that person. It's not all people. Because people like to throw that around. All white people ain't bad. You're right. All white people ain't bad. But when it comes down to it, and you got to pick a side and you got to stand on who you going to ride for, you better ride for your own, because they always gonna ride for theirs. Mm-hmm. So no, all people aren't bad. You got good people in races, you got bad people in races, but at the end of the day, you got a large majority of them that aren't good.
I did read an article,
and I'm gonna go with the majority.
First of all, I'm black, and I have to support my own. I'm not gonna, reject my own, and I want to do what I can to educate, uplift, support my own. Mm-hmm. But I was reading an article earlier this week, and it said the Education Association, like there's some kind of big meeting, with Black History Month and all the faux pas that went on, and they were saying that we want, they want to teach Black history, but they don't know how to teach about slavery.
What do you mean you don't know how to teach about slavery?
Tell the truth.
Slavery exists. You had people that went into a place, captured another people, and then brought them to this place and made them work free labor and build this world.
And tortured them in the process.
Bringing them here, separated their families, and that stuff is still happening today with mass incarceration. It's just another form of slavery, and now you just making it, you just legalized it once again. So, I don't understand how you can even look at the world. And I don't understand how a person could be 20-something years old growing up in a social media age. That's what really baffles me. You're growing up in a social media state age. You see the stuff every single day. You can't escape it. No, yes you do. Yes you do. But you are so blinded by whiteness that you don't want to see it. And that's what it comes down to. You're blinded by whiteness. You didn't let the white man put in your head. Yeah. You didn't let the white man put in your head that white is right, and that's all you know, and that's all you think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got these white friends that's around you that's giving you this courage to talk about your own people that look just like you. When you look in the mirror, you don't see white, you see black, and you're a dark-skinned black man.
Speaking of black man, what's up with your boy?
John Gray. Pastor John Gray, who now has his own church. What's it called? You know the name of his church?
No, I just know it's in South Carolina.
It's in South Carolina. He left Joel Osteen's church, and he went on to pastor his own mega church. You know, he has his wife. What's her name? Aventer. So, you know, we talked about John Gray before. Going to go see Trump and all that. And I like John Gray. He got the show on him and his family. You know, I like his messages. I've listened to a lot of his sermons. Well, back in May, when him and Aventer started the church, they came out and they told the congregation that he had what he did not call an affair. He said he didn't have an affair, because an affair is a physical, sexual interaction with the opposite sex or with the same sex that's not your spouse, right? So that was that. They told their congregation it was what it was. He bought her a $200,000 Lamborghini. People went all up in arms, like, how you afford a $200,000 Lamborghini? And I was like, why are they so mad? I mean, people work. You know what I'm saying? That's his job. He's a pastor.
And he has television shows.
Right. And he probably got businesses. He probably got all kinds of stuff. You know, I'm sure he got some stuff going on. He was in Joel Osteen's church. And you know,
he's on Oprah Network.
And you know, that's a mega church. Right. So they did that in May. Well, now it's resurfaced. You know, now they on the television circuit because they promoting the show. And of course, the infidelity is going to come out on the show. So they was on the Real. And Adrian from the Real asked him straight up, did you have an affair? He said straight up, no. And then his goofy ass wife is next to him clapping. Then he started talking about how
he had an affair.
He was like, I didn't have any physical contact with the person. However, I was, you know, conversing with this person and being with this person. Then he said, I had an emotional affair. Well, what's the difference between an emotional affair and a physical affair? Because at the end of the day, affair is in the sentence. So I think
I'm having an emotional affair.
You are?
I don't know.
You want to talk about it?
I don't know.
Off air?
You think I am?
Yes.
Oh, I should stop participating.
You want to stop?
I mean, don't bother me. I don't be doing nothing. I'm not married.
This is a whole other. It just got juicy. Well, according to John Gray, he wasn't seeing her either. He was only in the presence of her one time. Well, because we live in social media. She said, oh, you ain't going to get on TV and talk about you ain't had no affair with me. So she brought out the receipts. She had voicemail messages. He said that Aventer don't F him, suck him, or wash his dirty drawers.
Oh,
he didn't pay for this woman's BMW, took her on trips, was in the same hotel.
And getting that?
Right.
So he's saying he did all of this, but I never do it to her.
That's what he said.
My Lord got my.
No, he didn't say that he did all of that. He just said that he was having conversations with this woman.
Well, who said about the BMWs and stuff like that?
Well, the receipts.
Right, so that's what you're doing. So you're doing all of that. You're spending all that money, and you not getting what you said your wife don't give you?
Well, allegedly, she didn't go into details about whether or not they was having sex, but she did go into details.
First of all, you're paying for what your wife doesn't do. So you're going to get that.
Right, but she didn't say.
Who's she?
The mistress.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Now, listen, if what I want is sex, I'm not going to pay for not sex. If what I want is conversation, if what I want is sex, I'm not going to pay for conversation. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, he listen. I'm just telling you what the woman said. she was sending him videos, and he was like jacking off to the videos, and in the videos he was speaking in tongue. She got the voicemail message.
Up, Maya.
That's what she said.
I'm done. You ain't speaking in tongues. Why you? I'm done.
As he was jacking off, and he was, and he was reaching the climax, he was speaking in tongues. She got the messages. It's on tape.
So they're FaceTiming. They're having virtual sex.
Mm-hmm. They having emotional sex, physical sex, or virtual sex. He
got real sex for cheaper than all of that.
He could have, but he was in. Now he said that he loved the woman. He's like involved with the woman. So now I break it up just to say that if you are out here promoting your show and talking about your affair, just be clean about the whole thing. Like, now you have your wife looking stupid twice. Because now she's supporting the fact that you didn't have a real affair, that you just had an emotional affair, and you got her out here looking stupid. Where you could have just said from the door, A, you could have not said nothing. B, because if the woman was going to bring out the tapes, she could have been did that. She only really brought out the tapes because you're trying to downplay the situation. You was trying to say that it wasn't nothing. Now she's like, oh no, it was something. I was your woman. You know how Ray Charles, the woman on the movie, said, I'm Mrs. Ray Charles when we on the road. That's who she was.
Right.
She was Pastor John Gray's wife on the road, and Avatar was home.
Well, let me just say this, because I like Avatar. What I know of her, wait a minute. What I know of her from the shows and all that kind of stuff, I like Avatar. She appears to be a good mother, and there are a lot of sexless marriages.
Yes.
Their marriage cannot be totally sexless because they have 2 children.
They doing something.
But exactly. So, and I really do like Avatar, and I'm saying that is her, whatever choice she makes is her choice. If that's her husband and she's going to forgive him and move on and not divorce him and all that kind of stuff, you don't owe anybody an explanation.
Yes, but leave us out of it. Leave us out of it. You don't have to leave
us.
People. Just leave us out of it. You don't have to tell your business. Is the point? The point is
Avatar doesn't have any business in the say so.
But Avatar does have business in the say so.
Her husband did it. Like all she wanted to say is her only business is.
But it's not about her because she's the victim. It's not about her. She's the victim. Even though she looks crazy to me, it's her. It's
forgive.
And it's nothing wrong with that.
Up for their man.
And it's nothing wrong with that. But stop telling us about it. You didn't have to
hear about it?
No, I don't. Because now it brings up the question of your integrity. Because you preach a lot about how women should be wives, how women should act like wives, and if they act like wives, then they'll become wives, and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. You always preaching to what women should be doing. So, sow the seed into the man in a certain kind of way, and he'll give you that seed back. That's what you preach. And now, like all people, I got to look at you like a hypocrite. And here's the thing. You a man. You a pastor, but you still a man. Nobody falls short of sin. But stop telling me about it. Because now I got to judge you. And I'm a Christian. I don't want to judge you. But now I got to. Because you steady telling me as a woman what I should be doing. And you ain't even doing what you're supposed to be doing as a leader, as the man. And a pastor.
I know Joel Osteen, glad he left.
I know Joel's like, because I don't have none of this going on in my church. Joel had that one scandal when he wasn't letting people in for the hurricane. He quickly turned that around, like, oh, y'all could come in.
No, it wasn't that. It was that the
what was it?
They got water too, and they had to get the water out.
That's not what it was. That wasn't what it was.
Did.
No, it was all of the backlash that he. No, that's the statement.
They had water too. And
Girl, please.
They had to,
Girl, please.
Well, first of all, that wasn't the only thing because Israel Houghton is from his church too, and
why they say he had an affair?
Yeah,
with Adrian. No, he had an affair on his wife, and that's why they broke up, right?
Israel Houghton.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some kind of sexual misconduct or something, and so they set him. So he left the church too.
That ain't their problem. That's on him.
I just want to say that
the flesh is weak.
That's true too, and the church is made up of people, and people are people, and Christians ain't nothing but sinners. Trying to get right, maybe. Most days of the week. It
is, but I just feel like stop as a leader, and then we can wrap this up. Stop as a leader telling people what they should and should not be doing, and then you're not even living in the way that you are telling people. I don't like that. Stop telling women what women should be doing, and this is what I did with my wife, and that's, listen, and then now it comes out and you jacking off speaking in tongues. Well, come on.
That is TMI.
Well, it ain't that much TMI, because let me tell you something. If I was somebody's mistress and I chose to be somebody's mistress, now for me, speaking for me, if I was somebody's mistress, I wouldn't say nothing, because I know what it is. I'm in it. It is what it is. But you ain't going to dog me and think that everything is going to be okay. If I ain't saying nothing, don't say nothing. When you bring me up and you start dragging me through the mud, I'm going to drag you through the mud too.
By the way, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not in an emotional affair with anybody. It's not that.
We'll talk about offline what it is. Because the fact that you even thought that you might be in one.
Well, he said he talks to her all the time. You think I'm being used for an emotional affair?
I mean, you could definitely be being used for an emotional affair. Somebody could definitely be having an emotional affair with you because they're getting something from you that they're not getting somewhere else, and it be unbeknownst to you. You
right,
just thinking, you just like, hey, what's going on? What you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and they like, yeah, you know, and then you find yourself talking them off the ledge about some stuff, and then the next thing you know, they feel better. You don't even know. You none the wiser because you just like, we cool. What's up? It is what it is.
I am innocent in this whole thing. Yes.
I didn't say you was innocent. I said you said because you have an emotional affair and maybe you.
Well, I'm not having an affair because I'm single.
Okay, that's
but
true.
But I do have two people who call me a lot.
Do they call you to talk about their marriage?
I refuse to talk about their marriage.
Do they call you to talk about, hey, what's up with you? I'm trying to get with you.
I mean, maybe like later in the conversation they might be suggestive. I just laugh it off, like whatever. But.
Do you ever say like, yeah, Ninja, you funny, you better go say that to your wife?
Right. That's
okay.
usually how I respond.
Okay. Well, I would just ask them because I'm straight up.
But I mean,
I would just say, hey, are you using me for an emotional affair? Because I ain't nobody's emotional nothing. That's what I would say.
Right. I got a license. That'll be $29.95 per hour. But yeah.
We're going to dive more into this offline because I feel like this is a whole thing, like a whole topic we could get into. Like user, it has user. His name is user for a reason.
Right, but he was a user before he was married.
Yeah, okay. Hence the reason why his name is user. Hence the reason why
he don't bother me.
Yes, because he is a user.
Okay.
He is a user, and if anybody was using you for emotional affairs, him. He's a person that'll use you for anything. Oh, you know something about fixing sinks? Let me use your knowledge. Oh, you got a car? You could take me to the store? Let me get a ride. You know, I don't care about the ride thing. I'm using it as an example. Oh, woe is me. My marriage is so bad, but I got 17 kids and I keep having them. Well, it ain't that damn bad when you're screwing. It ain't that damn bad. So what, you bust your nut and then it goes back to being bad? User.
Yeah.
We almost 50 minutes into this. You want to keep going? Because I can.
Oh, wow.
And so it's nothing in you at one point in time, except for when I was talking about John Gray having an emotional affair. Because emotional affairs are real. Emotional affairs happen.
But
you could definitely not have. Go ahead.
When I think of emotional affair, I think like, so... And if the man is the one who's married and the woman is not. So I'm just thinking about, because I do talk to, two specific people a lot. Like, but I mean, we cool. We was cool before they were married, you know what I mean? For years. I've known them for a long, long time. And, but usually in an emotional affair, both parties get something. They get something, like this girl got these gifts and stuff like that. Or whatever.
You get something out of it?
What do I get? I'll just be bored. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up?
If you're bored and you like, hey, what's up? You still get a conversation. It takes away your boredom for the time that you talk to them.
I think that maybe I should charge or something.
Well, you should. And first of all, I let me tell you something. I would be getting something out of it. and whatever that something is. Now, you decide what the something is, but something needs to be happening. No fair exchange is no robbery. Let me tell you that. And so if you cannot be in a relationship, and a person can be in a relationship, and you guys are having an emotional affair. Just like if you wasn't in a relationship, you single, but you screwing a married man, you having an affair. Well, it doesn't matter if you got something to lose in a situation at all. Now you have a mind frame of, oh, what's up? You just my friend or whatever. You don't have a weaker mind frame where you will fall into it, because it starts off with an emotional affair, and eventually it ends up, and then it becomes mental, then it becomes physical, and the next thing you know, you are wrapped in. You know what I'm saying? You wrapped in. You didn't even think you was going to get wrapped in. You went in looking for a good time, and now you like, oh, you gotta go home. Now you mad.
Oh, we can't get on the company level now.
The point is that that's how it progresses. Now your mind frame is a stronger mind frame where you just like, yo, these my boys. What's up? I know you before you was married. What's going on? No, I ain't trying to sleep with you. No, I'm not trying to do none of that. But it still doesn't take away the fact that you are providing something that they're looking for, and they providing something you looking for, even if it's just like getting out of boredom for 10 minutes that I talk to you. They still providing something that you looking for too. So I say all of that to say, be careful with the emotional affairs, because emotions are something. You start caring for the person a little bit more. You start caring about what they're going through a little bit more. You start listening a little bit more. And the next thing you know, you're talking a little bit more. And then talking turns into, oh, you having a bad day? Come on over. And then the next thing you know, you're giving back massages. It happens.
I agree. And I also think that...
And you got a wife. You got somebody to talk to.
Right. You have options. So I agree with that too. And I also think that emotional affair, you're right, one thing, that kind of, what they say, one thing leads to another. And I just feel like in today's world, and I think every generation says this, but everything is just so loose and lewd and no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And people do not have control over their emotions.
Mm-mm.
People are really not in control. They don't know who they are. Even older people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They don't know who they are. They don't know what they want. They don't, there are some single people who obsess about being single.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything they do is because they might get a man today, or they'll hang out with people who are cool, like, oh my gosh, why won't he talk to me like that?
Mm-hmm.
Or, oh my gosh, that's my boy, but we're perfect for each other, he needs to leave his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Just like crazy thoughts like that all the time. And I think that that's so prevalent
mm-hmm.
in today's society, and a lot of times that void is not something that can be filled, because you don't really want a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You want everything your way. You want
mm-hmm.
everything to stay the same, and then have this person at your beck and call, really. Which is why even marriages don't last. Because
mm-hmm.
people want everything their way,
mm-hmm.
and then have the other person to be at their beck and call, and then you'll give a little. Because I know marriage is compromised. I'll give you this little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Of me. So I can see how emotional affairs can very easily come about. But I was just thinking, some of my friends, and it's just not all of them, but I know one, really, they just lean on me for just about everything. And I just...
zapping your energy. Using you for your energy. And the thing is you got somebody to use for their energy. The person that you chose to, whether friends or not, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like
go to your boys.
Well,
Talk to your boys about it.
Yeah.
Why are you talking to me?
Well, because.
And now,
why? Because.
Right, but now I'm slinging it straight like a dude. Yeah, fuck that shit. No, get out of it then. Oh, leave. Do this. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I said, because you have a stronger mindset. Where somebody that doesn't have a stronger mindset, people to me, emotional affairs are worse than anything, because physically you could go sleep with somebody, then you take your ass home.
Especially for a man.
Yeah,
a man doesn't get connected. A man can have sex with no strings.
And that's true. And for women
emotions,
too, if you a certain kind of woman, for women too, you know, it ain't always got to be an emotional thing. Sometimes you want to bust a nut just like somebody else. Mm-hmm. You go, you do it, you take your ass home, and you be like, "Hey, Ronnie, what we eating tonight?" You know what I'm saying? It happens. And so a man can do the same exact thing. I feel like if a person, whomever they are, but especially a man, has gotten to the point where emotionally they are leaning on you, emotionally they feel tied to you, they look at you as some kind of importance, and eventually a woman might be like, now maybe not you, but a woman might be like, oh, he really values me. He's into me. He's, you know, emotionally he's leaning on me. You know, and I'm just telling you, it leads to other thing, emotional affairs, and it ain't gotta be a physical thing, because to me, if I was somebody's wife and I found out that emotionally you was tied into a woman, it's over, point blank, period. If I found out that you screwed a woman, you might could come home and we might can make it work, to be honest with you. We might go to counseling, but if I found out you was like in it with a woman, like him, like John Gray, you're in it with this woman, right? You paying her bills, you're sending her cash apps, she in the same exact hotel that you and your wife are staying in. You telling your wife, I'll be back, I'm going downstairs to prep for the sermon, meanwhile you in Shireen's room. You understand what I'm saying? Mm. You was tied to this woman in a certain kind of way.
Shireen's chicken, now Shireen's room.
I don't even know who Shireen is, and I don't even know why that name is on my on my radar. That's Shireen is from a House Party. She was the girl from House Party, but I don't know why that's on my mind. But in any event, I think that you should definitely take a look, you know, just sit back and think about what an emotional affair is. If you don't think that you in one, it's like, okay. But if you do think that you in one, then reevaluate the fact that you may not be in that emotional affair, but that other person is. And bring them to the carpet. Like, yo, I mean, what's the deal? What we doing? Why you keep calling me? You got somebody to talk to. Go to one of your boys. Go to one of your family members. Go to, like, if you want to just call me and shoot the shit, like, hey, what's up? What you doing today? Nothing. I gotta run some errands. Oh, all right then. I was just checking in on you. Talk to you later. But if you calling me and you talking about, it's another,
Well, I think
and the user is definitely doing that because his ass is a user. And the other one is turning to be a fucking user too, as far as I'm concerned. But go ahead.
Really?
I mean, listen, I like them, but but what? And you made your decision.
Right, that's how I feel. Like, you made your decision, and so if you made your decision, you know, you made your decision. Like, that's what you do. But I've had, like, okay, so I had someone tell me that they're in love with someone. Mm-hmm. But they married someone else. And I asked them, point blank, period, like, how could you be in love with one person and marry somebody else?
Easy.
And that's exactly what he said.
Very easy. How can you be
why would you do that?
Why do people do a lot of stuff? That's like me, right? I meet two men at the same time. One of them is rich, you know, and I don't want to be poor. Mm-hmm. But I love somebody else, you know. Mm-hmm. I love what they bring to me. They make me feel good. They make me feel like I can accomplish anything. But they broke, you know. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I'm like, shh. I done crossed over that next box. Do you want to go back to eat oodles and noodles, or you want to be eating this filet? Right. And I might be one of them type of people that's like, well, filet is always better than the noodle. So now I go and I marry filet. I ain't happy, but I'm living well, you know. And every now and again, I slide back the noodle. Like, what you doing? You good? Because he makes me feel good. I love him. I love everything about him, but he can't take care of me in a certain kind of way. And so,
but that's from a woman's perspective. What about a man? I mean, even though we're not men.
No, I'm using that.
You couldn't get the girl you love?
No, I'm using that as an example. Maybe that person brought something to the table that they didn't think that the other person brought. Maybe that person.
No, he didn't think he could get the other one.
Is that what it is? Well, he's a dumbass.
And I say it all the time. If you think you can, if you think you can't, you're right.
And it might be right, but I think that it's definitely something else in that. I think that other person, that wife, provided something for him that he thought that the other person couldn't provide. Because other than that, it would be like, again, it's the rich poor thing, like you want to be rich or you want to be poor. And not saying that the person that he loves is poor, but you thought that the other person can enrich your life in a certain kind of way. Maybe the boy wanted to have kids and the woman that he loved couldn't have kids. So he was like, well, I love her, but this is what I really want. So he went somewhere else and did something else. You know what I'm saying? But then you still in love. You still got your feelings and it still is what it is. But, they can't provide what it is that you need. So it happens.
And that's how emotional affairs happen.
Yeah, exactly how it happens. Because now...
That's a good example.
Because now you tied in, right? This person is like, oh, okay, I can have this baby over here, but I still love you. So emotionally, I'm tied over here, and I'm not over here, but this is what I'm doing. And how can you do it? Very easy. Very easy.
Okay, that's true, and I think that's a good example. But what about, you're talking about that one they love can't have kids, and the other one they marry can. But how do you know that? Because then you get married, and because it may come down to willingness. One is not willing to have kids, so you marry the one who will have kids, and then you get married, find out she can't.
Well, that ain't your problem, because that ain't what you think about in the beginning. You got to go where the willingness is. If I was dealing with a man right now, I'm single.
Whatever happened to love? Goodness
Love
gracious.
don't listen.
Live here anymore.
Love.
Just a vacancy.
And love don't pay these bills. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to marry oodles and noodles if he can't take care of me. I'm going to marry filet. It's what it is. It's just what it is.
And have an emotional affair.
Life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. But it takes, always remember this, it takes two people to have an emotional affair. If you the one person that don't want to have the emotional affair, get out.
Right. I don't feel like I'm having an emotional affair. I
ain't saying you, I'm saying whoever out there is having one.
Well, I was talking about me. That's because, we were talking about it, and I don't even know if we met to talk about
I don't think we did.
Affair, but, so I'm just saying, an emotional affair, what makes it an emotional affair? Usually they talk bad about their spouse. Did John Gray do that? Yep. Say she don't suck, she don't this, she don't that. She don't
wash her drawers.
She don't wash her drawers. So yes, he did that. You're trying to be alone with that other person. You said he did that some time. Sure did.
And then had the nerve to tell her.
Talking to her.
But wait, then gonna have the nerve to tell her in the voicemail, I'm sowing my seed into you, and I'm taking care of you financially.
What kind of seed?
The seed.
Seed or seed?
I think it's seed, not like seed. Yeah. So he said that he was sowing his seed into her and taking care of her financially, and he can't even get a call back because I guess she wasn't calling him back fast enough. So yeah, you're trying to spend time with the person. Go ahead.
You're trying to hide what you're doing.
Well, there you go.
Ding, ding, ding. We got one there. You're straight up obsessed. Well, you just said it.
He was. I can't even get a call back.
Okay. You long to feel desirable and powerful in a relationship.
Yes.
And when you feel like your wife ain't doing it for you, you like, no.
And the person that you're having an affair with usually is the person that makes you feel great. That's why you're going over there.
And that's how you know, like, women like the appearance of power, because John Gray ain't no looker and he shaped funny.
He ain't a bad looking man, but
he ain't no looker and he shaped funny.
He ain't a bad looking man in the face, but he is crazy looking in the body.
Yeah. Okay.
But somebody like it.
You're avoiding real intimacy with your partner. I don't know if he is avoiding it. He just said he wasn't getting it. You count on your partner too much and they can't deliver, which probably is the case. They be wanting wives to be like super women. Like, they just want everything.
And if you listen to the way, I was about to say, if you listen to the way that he talks about Aventer, he definitely did. And that really pisses me off, because he'd be like, oh, my wife is this, my wife is that, my wife is this, and then she the best thing since sliced bread. Well, obviously she ain't that best.
Right. And why do you have to say all of those things just to make you feel better or to give the pretense? Everybody's so into pretense now. It gets on my nerves. You're turning to that other person for celebration and support instead of your spouse.
Yes. Damn, he got all the signs.
You're lying to your spouse about that other person in your life. Ding, 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 ding. So by this time, you're in too deep.
And that's what I started off this saying. You have to be very careful because emotionally turns into mentally, which mentally and emotionally is the same thing to me. And then it turns into physical. And once it turns into that,
First
from
of all,
emotional,
I do not believe for 1 second that he has never had sex with that woman.
No, he did. He has had sex with her. And my point is when it starts out emotional, it can turn into sex. You know, you're already having sex in the mind. It's already there. So,
and the Bible says if you thought, you might as well do it because same difference.
Well,
it's the intent. Yes,
that's what they say in the Bible.
Yes.
Well, the Bible we reading people, don't it?
I tell people all the time, everything pertaining to life is in the Bible. So yeah, that's.
So listening to all of that before we wrap up, you think you're having an emotional affair?
And this is what I was going to say, because I think that sometimes that I am not having an emotional affair, and at all. But I think, and that woman may not feel like she's having an emotional affair. She knew exactly what she was doing. Like she was getting this, that.
Well, she was having an affair. It don't matter if it's emotional, mental, physical.
She was like, I'm getting this. Right. So I don't have any of those characteristics, but I do see those characteristics coming to me, but I just don't pay them no. Like not all of them. Nobody has all of them.
Yeah,
you know, they have a few, but you know, and it's just like, hey, what's up? You know, yeah. Oh, that's good. All right, let me know. You know, like that.
I guess don't be a willing participant.
I can't. You know, well, I don't feel like a willing. I never felt like a willing participant until
when you listen back to this, you will.
Yeah, it got me like, you know. And then what am I going to say next time they call? Like, oh my gosh, I know we're cool. Oh gosh, yeah, you're my boy and everything, but I don't want to have this emotional affair. Are you using me for emotional affair?
Yeah, you know? That's what I would say. I would definitely say that. Are you using me for emotional affair? They gonna be stumped. Like what? You heard me.
And you know what? Now that we thinking about it, I don't know. I gotta do some investigations because you know what? I just think that they just always take for granted that I'm going to be there. Like when they call or if they need something, they just take for like, oh,
it's in the signs. It's in the signs.
They do. I'm just so helpful. Oh, I have to do something about this naivete.
Well, you didn't give the girl money, so use that same energy with this.
Was she a chick? That was easy.
It ain't
that hard. Use money either.
Well, of course you ain't gonna get no money, but I'm saying you didn't. You already on a roll of not helping people.
That's
Continue
right.
on.
Yeah, I'm strong.
Okay.
I'm strong. I'm strong. You is kind.
Right.
You is smart. You is important.
And strong.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just. But I'm gonna ask them. Like, are you using me?
Please do, and then report back to us and let us know what the answer was, because this is going to be very interesting, juicy, to say the least.
And I want to know, like, you know.
Me too. I want to know too.
Yeah, well, we'll check it out.
Listen, it's no better way to get on out of here than knowing that we're going to get an update. I don't know if it's going to be on the next podcast, but we're definitely going to get an update on whether or not Baby is in an emotional affair. At least if somebody is having an emotional affair with her. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here for the week. We hope that you enjoyed this week's show. Remember that an all-new episode drops each and every Monday, and you can find us anywhere you can listen to your favorite podcast. Baby said it in the beginning. We are on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor. Check us out. Remember to follow us on social media. You can follow us Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at We Did That Shit. Follow me on my personal Twitter. It's MyMy13. That's MYMY13.
And I'm at Bibiamina. That's BIBBIAMINA.
And we'll be here same time next week.
Remember, be great this week. Do that shit. I love you, Maya.
Love you too.